The Chiefs are taking on the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football, and joining us once again is one of our favorites. Last chatted with him in the final throes of the summer. Tyrann Mathieu back here on the program. How you doing, Tyrann? Good to see you.
Rich, I'm doing good, man. Really blessed. Can't complain.
Yeah. You know what? It's always great to chat with you. I'm wondering what is going on in your mind when you're going to go back to Arrowhead, where you spent 3 highly successful seasons in your career, Tyrann.
Yeah, listen, I'm excited about it. Obviously a lot of good memories come back to mind. And then too, it's, relationships, right? So I'm excited to see Spags, Coach Reid, a lot of people in the training room and in the scouting department too. So it'll be fun to catch up, for a little bit before the game, before it gets serious.
Of course. What's your relationship with Reid like from the 3 years that you were there? If you got a good story to kind of illustrate that, Tyrann?
No, I mean, Coach Reid, man, he was great for me, man. He absolutely, he empowered me. He really did allow me to be myself. And the only thing that I really, kind of regret, right, is, I miss those nights before the games, where he would be kind of talking to the team. And right before he break, he would say, just let the honey badger out of the cage. We're going to be all right. So, like I said, man, he's always been a inspiration to me, and just one of those coaches that really, really believed in me.
What do you mean? What do you mean he would say that to you? What? Tell me.
Yeah, well, I'm really a quiet guy, and I think the people that spend a lot of time with me, they do see my energy, they do see my passion and my enthusiasm, and I think that was just Coach Reid kind of reminding me it's that time, like you've been quiet all week, but like game day, that's the time for the honey badger to get out of his cage. And so, but yeah, that was always cool.
So I imagine when you see Coach Reid on Monday night on the field prior to the game, he will not be encouraging for you to let the honey badger out.
Not at all. Not at all.
He'll skip that this time, huh? He'll skip that. He doesn't want to see the honey badger, basically. He might say, keep that inside. He may actually say that to you. So walk me through the first 4 weeks of this season. Listen, when your offense scores 91, or the team as a whole scores 91, obviously we know that's not sustainable. And then 2 tough losses that you could be 4-0, just like the Chiefs. This could easily be 4-0 versus 4-0 on Monday night. How do you assess the first month of this Saints season, Tyrann?
Well, I thought we got off to a good start. I think those first 2 weeks were, really everything we've been kind of working towards since the spring. And, I'll say the last 2 weeks have, really reminded us of, some of the things that have kind of plagued us the last couple of years. And that, we're going to be in a lot of close ball games. It's going to be tight. It's going to be 3rd down, 4th down. And we have to figure out a way to win in those situations. I look back on the last 2 games that we played, man, and, especially defensively, we played great for maybe 57 minutes in the game, right? And then the last 3 minutes, we kind of let it get away from us. And so, we've had our opportunity to finish, right, and to kind of close out these games. And defensively, we just hadn't, made enough plays to be able to do that. And so I think that's the mindset right now is, how can we get in these games? We know we're going to be in competitive games, but how can we find a way to make those plays in those critical moments, down the stretch?
How do you address that? I mean, how does one address that subject matter when about closing?
It's you, not taking anything off. I think a lot of times, especially defensively, right, you could play, a great game, and then on the last drive, all of a sudden, you want to keep everything in front of you. You're not playing as aggressive. You're not as, quick to react. So I think it's just detail, right? And that attention to detail, and, just really staying focused throughout the course of the whole game. And, I think along with coaches, I think that's my job too, as a leader, is to make sure that, we're all taking deep breaths and we all understand, what the situation is kind of demanding out of us.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. You just kind of answered it because your defense has no shortage of, for the lack of better letters, OGs who can deliver that message in real time, knowing that this is the moment that you focus on your technique and your footwork and your P's and your Q's and your film work. And I mean, is that done huddle, sideline? Like, do you do that, or you just assume your teammates kind of get it too, Tyrann?
Well, I think it's a good reminder that to never take anything for granted. I think anytime you come to the sideline defensively, it should be some type of communication, right? And especially when you get down to the last seconds of a game, right? Because those aren't the plays that you were seeing all game, right? And so these plays are going to be a small menu, but it's what they want to do. And we just have to be locked in to that. You know what I mean? And like you said, Rich, we have more than enough players on our side of the ball to be able to, make those plays in those critical situations. And it's just all about us doing it. And yeah, I mean, we're on Monday Night Football. The whole world is watching. We're playing against one of the best offenses, in football. And so it's going to be a great challenge for us, but we got to find a way to stay locked in, for the entire, course of the game.
Yeah, opportunity, right? Because what better way to kind of wipe out the last two games than to go in Arrowhead on a Monday night and come out with a dub,
Yeah. I mean, and listen, man, it won't be easy. Like that's a great team, right? And when we talk about critical situations, down the stretch moments, late in games, right? I mean, that's pretty much the Chiefs' identity, right? Like they've found ways to make those plays, to make those tackles, really late in the game, down the stretch. Some of the biggest games, in the world, right? Like we've seen them done that, Super Bowl after Super Bowl. So this is definitely be a great test for us because we know that like this is a team that's going to play 60 minutes.
And Travis Kelce just had his best game of the season in terms of production, that's for sure. And the narrative on a lot of parts around our football-loving nation, Tyrann, is that 87's lost a step or he's slowed down. What have you seen on film?
Well, to be honest, Rich, I think, Father Time is probably going to catch up with all of us. But to dismiss Travis as, being anything other than a valuable weapon, I mean, it's just nonsense to even think about it in that way. He's still a savvy player, and you could kind of see throughout the first 4 weeks that the tension wasn't really on him, right? Like you could see Rashid Rice and, you could see a lot of other players kind of getting involved in the game plan, right? But like, I've known Travis long enough and I've played against him and played with him long enough to know like he will be the last person I fall asleep on Monday night, like, because I know at any given moment, man, like he can make that big time play on third down. He can make those, those great plays in the red zone, right? And we talk about Patrick, right? Extending plays, those secondary plays. I think him and Travis, like they do that like nobody I've ever seen do it, right? And so, like the challenge is still there, you know what I mean? And I mean, he's always been a heady player, savvy player, and so, man, I don't even buy into a lot of the narrative that's being thrown out there right now for Kelce.
Tyrann Mathieu here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, in the couple of minutes I have left with you here, you know when somebody's got their phone around them, you can look down when there's a call coming in. I'm wondering if you're around Derek Carr to see the 4 words "call from Davante Adams." You seeing that on his phone, Tyrann? Looking for that on his phone?
No, I have not. I have not seen that. Me and Derek, we haven't even talked about that. Obviously you kind of get on social media and you see what's going around, and obviously there's always going to be some type of connection, right? Because Davante Adams hasn't played with that many quarterbacks, so it's like, where is Aaron Rodgers and where is Derek Carr?
That's right.
How can we just piece this together and make it about the Jets or the Saints? And Davante is a hell of a player, man. Like don't get me wrong, but yeah, man, I like the guys that we have, but like I said, like Davante is one of those guys, man. Like nobody's going to turn that down,
No, of course, and I know whenever these questions come up, and you're again, this is not your first rodeo, nor is it mine. Asking a question like that of somebody like yourself, the answer could be viewed as, well, He doesn't think the guys that are there can do it. Davante is just a different human. He's a different ball of wax. Like for everything, he's obviously additive if you can get him.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, he's a special player. Like, you know, last 10 years, like he's been a top 3, 4, you know, receiver, you know, year in and year out. You know what I mean? And he's highly competitive. You know, I've had a chance to really play against him a couple of times, and man, like he's one of the best guys doing it. You know, from just route running and just his headiness, right? Like we just talking about Kelce being savvy, right? Like, you know, Davante has a lot of that in his game too, and you know, wherever he ends up, man, like he's gonna make that team better too.
Well, I mean, you know, Bourbon Street's not a bad place to hang out, you know, right? Some great food in your town. Fan base is lit.
It's definitely some good food. It's a lot going on. You know, you'll have a good time for sure.
You're practically the mayor of that town, Tyrann. You could let him know. Let me know if you see the phone light up and a call from Davante Adams. Those are very 4 important words. I'd like to know if you see it. Okay?
I got you, Rich. I got you.
Thanks, Tyrann. I appreciate it. Thanks for the time here. Greatly appreciate you as always. Good luck Monday night. Enjoy the reunion for a brief bit and then go ball out. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Rick.
Right back at you. Right back at you. That's Tyrann Mathieu, everybody, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. One of our favorites of the 2-2 Saints who can go calling card and say, hey, everybody, we're taking on the Chiefs on a Monday night. Call from Davante Adams.
Incoming
call. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern for free.